Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my review for the season 2 finale of Queen Sugar. This is episode 16. I hope everyone had a good day. I attempted to do this review yesterday, the day it came on, and my camera was acting so stupid. I got like 17 minutes into the review, and my camera cut off, and it just would not let me record in full. It kept like, it was, I don't know, it just went haywire. So I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'll do it later on. So it'll be a day late. So this probably will be up Friday morning. Yeah, Friday morning. Because it's late Thursday night. I thought it was a good episode. I was surprised at a lot of stuff that happened. I honestly thought a couple of different things were going to happen, so I'll speak about that as I'm going through. So we see how the episode starts off, and Blue is sitting in the garden, basically, and he's talking to his doll, and he's just saying, you know, I'll tell you, but I have to say a bad word. So I'm like, what is he talking about? He was like, you know, I heard someone say, you know, that damn girl. I think they'll talk about mama. And for me, I think it's a clear indication of, or a clear representation of how people as adults have conversations around children and don't realize children are aware what is being said about and how they can kind of pick up on different things. Clearly Blue knows something's going on. Probably mainly because his parents aren't around. His dad is not around. His mom is gone. And he's with, you know, Aunt Vi and Uncle Hollywood, basically. So, you know, Aunt Vi do, you know, kind of walk up and she's humming a little ditty. You know, she's humming This Little Light of Mine. You know, This Little Light of Mine. I'm not going to sing it. So she sings it. I remember that song. And it was a cute little scene. So, you know, we have that. Nova and Darla. I feel like this episode, and then also the episode in last episode. I think last episode we saw how Charlie interacted with Darla after finding out. So in this episode we see how Nova interacts with Darla after finding out about the secret that she held. And you know, Nova's at the house where a reporter is talking to one of the farmers about Queen Sugar Mill. And, you know, the farmer is saying how he hasn't experienced any issues and everything seems fine. There hasn't been any, you know, machines malfunctioning and everything's cool. So when Darla pulls up, you know, she says to Nova, you know, I just came here to pick up a couple of my things, you know, get my charger, my phone case, just in case Ralph Angel or Val called me about Blue. And Nova, I don't think Nova has ever really trusted Darla. You know what I'm saying? Just based on her past. And, you know, she says to her, you know, I don't think you should be here when Ralph Angel isn't here. And let me be clear. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust you. And then Darla's like, you know, this is my home. You know, we're raising our son here. And Nova's like, no, this is our home. And, you know, I just don't think you should be here without him being here. You know, why didn't you tell him? You know, why won't you tell Aunt Vi? Why won't you tell Hollywood about this? How could you keep this from us for so long? And, you know, she basically says, I was afraid that he would fully walk away. And, you know, I was just scared back then. You know, I felt like he was so angry at everyone and everything that would basically push him over the edge. And, you know, I felt like Blue brought him, I thought Blue brought him peace. And, it brought out the best in him, basically. And, you know, she says, you know, I felt like I chose just the best life that I could for Blue. And I thought I was doing what was better for Blue. And then Nova says, no, you chose a lie. And, you know, you should leave and come back when Ralph Angel's ready to deal with you. Now, I feel two different ways about this. I feel like because we have grown to love Darla and like Darla and root for Darla because she has overcome her demons. But I feel like at the same time, she did lie. And it's the only reason people are feeling so bad for Darla is because we've seen the good in her. Whereas if she was a random person who they didn't show her a lot. If she was still the Darla who we thought was on drugs and, you know, just doing bad, well, we feel bad for her if they found out that she was lying about Blue being Ralph Angels. And while I do feel bad for Darla, I still also feel like she did lie. You know, she did hold this secret in, no matter if she was purposely trying to do it. Because it's not like she lied to, like, for her life to be better, or she lied to even hurt them. Blue has done nothing but make their lives more fuller, more full of love. But, you know, a lie is a lie. So, you know, it's hard to kind of be like, well, you know, it's not a bad lie because they love Blue. It's still a lie that could have been rectified a long time ago. But it's like, would that have made things better or worse? Because let's say Blue isn't or wasn't Rob Angels and he found out back then, everyone's life would be different. You know, from everyone, even from their father, Ernest. That would be different as well. So, you know, next we see Charlie and she's walking into Jacob's office. Jacob, I don't know if it's Jacob Jacob Boudreaux or Landry. I don't know what his last name is, but y'all know he's one of them. And of course he's expecting her because he knows they have been spreading these lies and that he was just waiting for her to come in to confront him about it. And, you know, they're going back and forth. I thought it was a great scene because it kind of was a balance between seeing this privileged white man and this extremely determined black woman spar with each other. You know, him saying how he knew she would be there and let's be partners and you intrigue. You know, I find you and you intoxicate me, and you know, just I felt like it was the quintessential, I love saying that word, white man who feels like he can get whatever he wants because he's privileged and feels like I've won because they're here, because I've messed up they wanted to do. I feel like Charlie is the determined person to win. And sometimes you want to win so much you don't care at what expense. But she's letting him know, you know, all the dirty tricks you're playing is not going to work. You're basically spreading rumors, and rumors aren't facts. And facts, you know, only facts are true. And she even says, like, you know, only the truth stands still, which is true because a lie, you know, it comes and goes, but the truth sticks around. And I believe that's absolutely true. And he basically wants her to partner with him. And she's like, no, not doing it. You know, it's not going to happen at all. You know, he's like, you know, we can make lots of money together, you know, and I know that I intrigue you. And she was like, you know, just the audacity of the audacity of the privilege that he has to feel like he can even talk to her in that way and like he has something over her. And, you know, she lets him know, you know, you're desperate. You know, you're desperate right now, but in the end, I will win. You know, you don't even realize it now, but this is the beginning of your end. And, you know, it might not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. It might not even happen this year. But you have to be aware that this is the beginning of the end for you and how you do business. And, you know, it's coming. And I love that she kind of let him know, I'm not trying to win something short. I'm not trying to just quickly do something. This is the start of a complete change. It's not, oh, she won this season because she got some of our farmers to meal with her. No, I need to shut you down for the long haul. I need you to end. I need to end what you are unfairly doing to these other farmers. And you don't even realize it yet, but this is the beginning of your end. You think you're winning, but you're not, because you're just fueling me to come at you harder and harder and harder. And so we see that. And then, of course, she walks out because she's like, I'm not doing business with you. From there, we see Darla, and she's driving. And Darla is clearly, you know, just full of emotion and different things. So she pull up. And I'm like, where is she pulling up to? And we see she actually pulls up to Aunt Hollywood's house. And she's watching Blue, you know, sit outside and play with, you know, Hollywood and Aunt looking at him. And Darla is clearly broken in the aspect of in her eyes, her life as she knew it is done. You know, she was engaged to be married to the man she loved, to the man who loved her son and their son, to a man who loved her. And in an instant, because of a mistake she made years ago, in a moment that all went away when she was finally honest. And so for her, she's broken. And she's sitting in the car, and as she's looking at Blue, she just screams. And just a loud scream. And it was the scream you do when you have nothing else left in you. And you're so frustrated that it all just comes out in a loud yell. And, you know, I was like, okay, she's broken. And at this point, she's just like, what am I supposed to do? So, you know, we just see that she just basically pulls off. So from there, we see that Hollywood gets the call. I don't want to drag this out and do like scene by scene by scene, because I don't want this to be a 40-minute review. So I'm going to cut some things short, you know, just so that I'll tell you what happened, and basically that's it. So we see, you know, Hollywood gets a phone call from his lawyer. Lawyer lets him know, hey, the case is now settled. He's like, oh, okay. He then goes and tells Aunt Vi, hey, guess what? We're rich. And she was like, you know, I know that money you were getting from the monster, you know, it's a nice amount of money, but it won't make us rich. And he's like, no. You know, they settled for 3 times the amount that we thought. You know, we're rich. And, of course, they're happy. Happy. From there, he proposes to Vi. You know, he admits how much he loves her and that he can't imagine being with anyone else but her, and how he's never met anyone like her in his life. And even though they said in the beginning that they never needed to be married, he doesn't need to be anything else or be with anyone else. He just wants to be with her. And how they now can take their time and dream, but he don't need time to dream. He knows exactly what he wants, and all he wants is Vi. And he's like, you know, Violet, you know, you do me the honor and, you know, consider being my wife. And of course she says, yes, baby. You know, she says yes, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Nova then throws them a engagement party. Charlie can't make it because she's handling, you know, meal business. Ralph Angel can't come because he is in the middle of harvest and everything. But Remy comes, you know, to give us his congratulations from him and Charlie. And, you know, they're all kind of sitting around just talking and stuff, having a good time. So at the end of the night, you know, Charlie and Remy in the kitchen washing dishes, and they talking. And just about different stuff, and about how, you know, it was so good to see how happy and how far Hollywood and Ava have came, how they're now at this point of being married. And how what they have is basically just... What did he say they had? I'm trying to be sure I say it the right way. Yeah, he said what they have is impossible. You know, a feeling of being with someone wholeheartedly and being able to be your true, authentic self is impossible. You know, it's great to see something impossible happen. And Nova's like, it's not impossible. It's just actually just extremely rare. And I'm like, well, that is absolutely true. And they kind of look at each other. He touched her hand. And I'm like, why are you touching Nova's hand? And then he's like, you know, you have a beautiful home. Thanks for having me here. And then, you know, she's like, oh, no problem. And then they hug goodbye. But they hug for like an extra 3 seconds. Like an extra 3.5 seconds. Like they maybe sniffed each other a little bit. Like he inhaled her scent. And she maybe inhaled his scent. And I'm like, what are you doing? What? No, don't do it. And, you know, he leaves. And she just kind of looks like, And I'm like, I don't like that. So, you know, we see that, you know, Ralph Angel is in the field talking to a farmer who's basically telling him, look, we can't farm with y'all. Bottom line, you know, I can't, my brother can't, we'll try it next year. And he like, you know, it might not be nothing next year. And he like, the farmer saying, it's all these rumors we can't afford if something goes wrong. Of course, these rumors are really, really working. So at the same time as that's happening, we see Charlie at the mill getting phone call after phone call after phone call from each farmer saying how they can't meal with her. And it's basically real fucked up. I don't even know how else to say it. It's bad because the meal can't survive without farmers, basically. So then we see, Charlie is at the farm waiting on Rod to get home. So when Rod comes in the house, she's like, I'm only down to 3 farms. And, everyone else backed out and it's kind of crazy. And he's like, what we gonna do? And she was like, I have a plan. It's different, but I have a plan. I need you to just hear me out. And she's like, I want you to meal with the Boudreaux. And he's like, what? What? They tried, they tried to destroy us. They tried to destroy your dad. They tried to destroy our family. And she's like, I know. It's out there. I get it. But, I have a plan to, just hear me out. Because they're going to keep trying to comfort. They're going to keep trying to destroy us. She then says, this has to be an internal war. One they never saw coming. And I'm like, she really on some, I want to take him out type stuff. And she was like, we can't, of course, we can't keep the mill open with no farmers, basically. And then he's like, are you sure about this? Like, have you thought this all the way through? And she's like, I thought about it from every aspect. I thought every plan, every way I've thought about this and what could go wrong and what couldn't. And I'm 100% sure. I've done this before. We will win. It will be brutal. It'll be a slaughter that they never saw coming and that they would never recover from. And then she was like, I promise you, on Daddy's name, I promise you. And he looked at her. He was like, you want some Godfather shit? And she was just like, and I'm like, okay. Charlie is definitely the heroine of the story. Nova is too, don't get me wrong. Charlie just does it in a different way to where she's calculated when she's pushed against the wall. She comes out fighting. She's like a lioness protecting her pride. And I love it. And, Ralph Angel. He's like, okay, I'm with it. They get up and they hug, and she's like, I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, it's gonna pay off. Because we have to play up. We have to just do this. And then she's like, and to let you know, I'm proud of you. And I stand with you, just like you stand with me. And he was like, thank you. And she was like, and that's why I fired Darla. I didn't want you questioning where my loyalties lie. My loyalties lie with you. And when she said that she fired Darla, it seems like it finally clicked to Rye what he did. He prematurely told them what she did, not thinking about how it would affect Darla. Because in the moments, he was just so broken, and he was broken too. And when she said that she fired Darla, he remembered how much she depended on that job just to stay sober and clean, mentally and emotionally and spiritually. That was her solace a little bit. So you saw his face, he knew like, damn. So next thing we see is he goes looking for Darla. He goes to her NA meeting, speaking to her sponsor, like, I'm looking for Darla. Is she here? Did she leave already? And she's like, she never came. She didn't come today. And he like, well, she's staying with you, right? And she's like, yeah, but she left this morning. Said she needs to sort some things out and that she probably wouldn't want to be back. I mean, that she would not be back today. She will be back until tomorrow. And, I'm worried about her, losing that job. It's really hit her hard. So he's like, okay, fine. So then he leaves and he's going out looking for her. I don't think I missed the part. I did. Skip that part. Well, no, I won't skip that part. Well, yeah, I will, because it's a whole different situation. So, before that part happens, Remy goes to talk to Charlie. And, he goes and he said, I'm going to talk to the farmers who canceled and who, think they don't want to meet with you. And she's like, oh, no, it's okay. I don't need you to do that. Me and Rod have a plan. And he's like, well, what's the plan? Okay, what's the plan? And she's like, okay. Again, it's a little bit out there. It's a little bit different. And she's like, I told Rod to meet with the Landrys, and I'm going to join forces with the Boudreaux. And he's like, what? You serious? And she's like, I know it sounds crazy. I know, and he looks pissed, of course. And he's like, do you even know how this is going to go over with the people in the community? You've talked to these families about how they can trust you to meal with them, and they won't accept this. And she's like, it was think at first, but it'll be okay. I mean, he was like, but after all you've been through with them, the community. And she was like, they all left me. Which they did. Half didn't show up. And the ones that did show up bailed over white man's lies. So, miss me with the whole how the community gonna feel about it. Because again, he like, I know you hurt. It's like, it's not even about me being hurt. When I'm hurt, the hurt fuels me. Anger fuels me. But I can't be in an empty meal standing around worrying about people who not worried about me, basically. They told me how they feel loud and clear, meaning they all bailed on me based on what they heard could have happened. No one came down to my meal to see there were no issues. They all just listened to someone else and did not care about me. So everything I put into this and everything that I built with them, they didn't care. They did what they wanted for themselves. So I need to do the same thing. And I need to do it in my own terms. And, he's like, I know you're hurting, but please don't do this. She's like, as I said, hurt fuels me. She's like, I'm not going to sit and let it fester. And you should not let hate or anger sit or your hurt or anger fester within you, because it's not good. And, she's like, and the Boudreaux will feel my hurt and my pain. And he's like, you playing with the devil, and I can't be a part of it. In this moment, I feel like I don't know you. And, she's like, you're right. You don't. And I'm basically sick and tired of trying to convince you that I'm worthy of you and to prove myself to you. You either trust me or you don't. And he was like, I don't. And he literally walked away. I said, Remy, did you walk away because you was holding Nova's hand? Like, I feel like Charlie has always been Charlie. I don't think Charlie has ever been anything other than who she was. I don't think anyone could say, I didn't know she was ruthless. Yes, she did. Okay? She's very determined. So I felt like Remy was always trying to get her to prove that she was good enough to be his next wife. I think he based everything on his wife who passed away, and I need someone to fit her goodness and her wholesomeness and her and be her. And he kept kind of putting Charlie through the ringer to be what he felt like she should be. Kind of the same way how Robert did to Nova. You want her to be your vision of herself and not let her be her own self. And I'm glad that she kind of stood up to him. So we see Nova wrote a story. It was a really quick scene. She was typing up a story. I was too tired to like read what she was writing, but it was called The Wound That Heals Itself. I believe it was also by her dad, because I saw a quote that she put that her dad said, but again, I didn't read it. But yeah, but she sent it to her editor, and she said, this is one of the most, she said, this is something new that I'm working on, maybe on a slow day, you can run it. So she sends the email, she seemed nervous because, as she said, this is something new. So she's nervous, she had sent, and she goes on about her day. So when she gets in the bed, her phone beeps. Beep. Beep. It's a reply. And he sends back, he says, this is one of the most incredible pieces I've ever read. It's front page worthy. And she's happy. So she's smiling, she's excited, but she's also shocked, but she's happy. It's nothing better than being scared to be yourself based on not knowing how people will accept you and take in your thoughts of greatness, basically, and then to put it out. Like for me, doing YouTube, I didn't know if anybody would watch me, because I'm looking like, who want to watch the girl with the glasses and the bun? Who want to watch that? So it was surprising and happy and shocking that people actually watch me every week, whether it's 50 people, 2 people, or 1,000 people, or 1,000 views, or 50 views, or whatever. It's still exhilarating to see that people actually, like my work. So Nova had that same moment of acceptance of herself and knowing that she did good work, basically. I thought it was cool. So next we see, Robert Angel riding around looking for Darla. He's going to like different drug places that she used to hang out with. And he like, anybody seen Darla, skinny girl with long hair. I'm like, first of all, Robert Angel, that describes a lot of people, okay? When everyone's like, no, 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 we don't know her, he says, how about Star? We don't know no Star either. So no one's seen her. He went to one place and he was about to get in his car and pull off, but he got out his car or his truck, and then he went door to door looking for her because he's feeling like because she was so distraught, she might have came to get high. Let me go through all these crack houses and spots and weed spots and places that she could be because maybe she used to be there, and let me walk around and find her. So he's walking all up and through these spots, just all up and through, and I'm like, I'm reading like, what did I write? I'm sorry, I was confused for a second. So, he finally goes to like the pool area of somewhere. I don't know if it's a clubhouse or whatever. And he looks over and Darla's in the pool and she's just swimming. She's just, she's swimming. Because a lot of people, that's a way to relieve stress. So she sees him. He helps her out the pool. Now this scene, I'm not, of course, going to go word by word, was very hard. I didn't cry during this scene at all. But it was very emotional. I felt it was very raw. It was very real. And I think they both deserve some kind of nomination for this. Ralph Angel, and I need Ralph Angel to stop yelling at people. Okay? But yeah. He goes on to say how, he knows that he's not always done right by her. He's not always said and did the right things. That he has a past and he has a temper and he has baggage. He's like, I know all of that about me. He's like, however, I ain't never lied to you, Darla. I ain't never lied to you, Darla. And he's like, I never thought out of everything I thought you were, I never thought you were a liar. And, she's like, well, if you can just hear me out, maybe you'll feel different. You can see things differently. She then goes into, I went back home. I went to a party. I was drinking. I was getting high. And he's like, I don't want to hear about you being with them. I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Why I sound like that? It's serious. And he's like, but how could you carry this lie for 7 years? You told me that you loved me and that all that mattered was blue, that you were sober and you was clean, but you carried this cancerous lie with you for so long. Why would you do that? She finally, because she was saying different things, and he was like, to tell the truth. Say something. Why am I sounding like that? It's hilarious. Say something. And she's like, I was scared. I was scared for my life. I couldn't remember what happened. And, I was pregnant. I couldn't remember if I was pregnant by the man I was in love with, or by men, or from a night that I don't even remember. And I was just scared, was I pregnant by strength, about my person I loved. And, then you went to prison. And everything fell apart. And I'm like, and it's hard, if you think about it, when that happened, how young they were. You know what I'm saying? Because they not older. How young were they that you have this young, strung out girl who did something horrible, had a night that she can't remember, and now she's pregnant. And even if she wants to tell you, she can't, because now you're in jail. And she's left with this heavy, heavy secret. And she's also a drug addict. So it's just so much going on within the trifecta of what was going on. And she's like, I just didn't know how to tell you. And he was like, you just had to say, I'm pregnant and I don't know if it's yours. And I'm like, well, that's easy to say now. You know what I'm saying? And he says, I would have listened to you, but you lied. You lied from that day and every day since. And, she's like, I know I betrayed you and I deserve whatever you decide. But I'm so sorry and I hope one day you can forgive me. And he like, I will never look at you the same. I will never trust you again. And she's like, so we're over? And she's crying, he's crying. It's so emotional. And he's like, I can't be with you if I can't trust you. And, that's very, very true. It's hard to be with somebody that you don't trust. And the one thing I love that he didn't say, it wasn't that he hated her. He just couldn't be with her. You know what I'm saying? And I like that about the conversation. It was about, I hate you, you're the worst person ever. It was like, I can't trust you. So because I can't trust you, I can't be with you. And this hurts me just as much as it hurts you. But you lied to me. And every day since you told me you was pregnant and you said it's my baby. You you watched me be happy about being a father, and you knew it wasn't, 100% accurate. And, she's like, what about Blue? You can turn away from me, but you can't turn away from Blue. Blue, hate me, but don't hate Blue. Please love Blue. And he was like, Blue is the blood in my veins, even the mine ain't in his. I'm like, yes, Ralph Angel. Blue is the blood in my veins, even my blood ain't in his. I'm looking like that is such a beautiful thing to say. And, she's like, well, can you take him for a while? I'm going to go back and call my parents and to try to get myself together. Because, of course, she has no house here. She has no job here. And she does have to get herself together. And he like, she's like, just tell him I got sick and that I'll be back and that I'm going to take him swimming. And then he just ended it by saying, God bless you, Darla. And I mean that. Meaning, I don't hate you. I just can't be with you. I'm like, my clothes back there I just bought and look so weird with that stuff sitting on my couch. I just haven't hung the stuff up yet. But yeah, it's good to see that he understands she did something wrong. She understands that she did something wrong. And he can still be there for Blue. And at the end of the day, that's really all that matters. So for me, that was really, really good. We see Charlie go to the Boudreaux's. And, she tells him how she was, hasty in her decision from earlier. And, chalking up to my ego. And, tell me what you want. And then he said, I want you. The meal was just the beginning of it. And, how to just start. We'll be great. We will be great together, especially if people don't know we're a team. And she's like, well, you know what? There would be no partnership. You can buy Queen Sugar outright. But you're going to leave me on as... No, he's like, what, you going to give up that easy? And she goes to say, she's tired of fighting. She was so focused on winning that she lost time with her son. She alienated her family. She also lost a relationship. And those are things that she did in one way or the other. And, she says how her daddy used to say, if you set out to do something and you learn a lesson along the way, even if you lose, you won. And I'm like, I need to put that on the goddamn shirt because it's very, very true. And she's like, in life, dreams morph and reshape in an instant. And while that was what I wanted, my dream and my focus has reshifted and morphed into something different. So, you buy the land, you leave me as the face of the company, I do the day-to-day work, and, you leave the farmers alone. And he touched her hand and said, how about another deal? And I'm like, you want her coochie too? Just the audacity of these privileged ass white men. And she was like, one step at a time. But he agrees to her terms, meaning she'll be attacking from the inside. That's what you have to do. And the last scene of the night was great. We see Ra go pick up Blue from Aunt Vi in Hollywood. And, he carry him to the truck. Blue halfway asleep. So Blue kind of wakes up. Hey, Pop. Where you been? Because, again, Ralph been gone all day, maybe. A day or two or something like that. I can't think how long it's been. Probably at least a day. And he's like, remember, it's harvest. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he looked at Blue, and the Blue just looked sad. And I'm like, oh, Blue do look sad. Like, what's wrong, Blue? And, Blue said, Blue, where do you think I was? And Blue was kind of teary-eyed. He was like, I didn't know. And I'm like, now that made me cry. Just seeing that Ralph Angel didn't know, but his absence from Blue, just for that one day, still affected him. And even though it was harvest, Blue still knew something was wrong. Something wasn't quite right, and my dad's gone. And I love how Ralph Angel saw in Blue that something was wrong. And he talked to Blue about it. He then said, you know how you got your name? And he's like, no. So he told Blue a story about, what did he say? Basically how he got his name from Aunt Vi and his own mother, Drew. You know, he brings up how they had all these different names that they wanted to come up with. He said, but in the end, he wanted him to have a name all his own. And he said, you know, our vibe brought up how she was named after a color. And he said something about, you know, a crayon. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I should have just watched it yesterday. But he brings up how Aunt Vi was named after a crayon. And then he brought up how he also wants it to be connected to his mom. So blue rhymes with Drew. Blue is a color. And then as we said, which was more important, he says, you know, blue is in the sky. Blue is in the ocean. You know, everything good is blue. Everything positive is blue. And everything good is in you. I was like, oh my God, it was so sad. I just started crying like that. It's so sad. Because it's for a father to let their son know why we named you what we named you. And to know that everything that's good is in you. And that when you look up at the sky, know that's you. If you look into the ocean, know that's you. The moon is blue. You know what I'm saying? And you named after the two women who always saw the best in me. Aunt Vi, violet, a color, and your grandma, Drew, blue, Drew. And he was like, you know, I love you, son, and hugged him. I'm like, man, look, I couldn't, you know, it was, oh my God, it was so beautiful. And that's how the episode went off. So again, I think I was surprised. My surprises was, I honestly thought that they were going to have Darla kill herself. I thought Darla was going to be so distraught over losing Ralph Angel, losing her job, you know, Nova being mean to her, you know, she can't go to Aunt Vi Hollywood house. I felt like she was going to be so distraught. Was she going to kill herself? And then the family would have to live with that feeling of knowing they kind of turned their back on her. And she ended up killing herself. That's what I thought was going to happen. And that was going to be the shocking finale of her dying. And maybe not even killing herself, but maybe even if she was crying so hard that she crashed her car. It's just something. And I was just like, but that would be just so heartbreaking. Because I'm like, I know her and Rob Angel can't just get back together. And they're going to have to remove her in some sort of way. So, I guess having her go back to her family is a way to take her out for at least one season. And then bring her back later. But yeah, great episode. Can't wait until next season. Put your comments below about how you like the episode as well. And I will see you guys next time. I am Jay Lee. This is Jaylee's Corner. Peace.